Chris Gordon. It's been a while. Back here with some more ideas and just kind of giving you an insight to some of the stuff I practice and work on. And I had a gig today. It got rained out, unfortunately. I was looking forward to that gig. That's why you see all this gear laying around me. This was about to get loaded out. And now I'm here. So have a couple of cocktails and talk about some guitar playing. So the lick I just played is a minor pentatonic idea that is going to be focusing primarily on alternate picking and getting that kind of picking hand, doing some things that, you know, being an economy picker for the past 20 years, this little thing here has helped me a lot with getting my alternate picking back to where it once was back in the early days for me. This was inspired by the great Scott McGill. I'm going to leave a link in the description to the video that he produced, that he talks about this in depth. He talks about it harmonically, technically, all the great stuff. So this is a Scott McGill thing. I am not claiming any ownership of it, but I'm a big avid fan of Scott's, so I watch all his videos and I incorporate that into my playing in some way. So definitely check out his channel and subscribe to it, because you'll never want for anything in terms of material to work on, because it's quite amazing. What I found very intriguing about this concept was the grouping of notes, how applicable it was to my improvisation and to my writing, and at the end of the day, it became my backstage warm-up for almost every gig I did for the past year or two. So let me break it down, what's actually happening, and then really talk about why and how I'm using it. So it's an E minor pentatonic idea. And it's all based out of the root position, or position 1. I always see that as position 1 because it's where the root note is. I'm going to be borrowing from position 2. And if you remember some videos I did a little while back, I get into that explanation much more in depth. So, but having said that, I'm going to be in this position the entire time. So here's the first idea that is going to repeat across the fretboard, and there's another way to do it linearly, which I'll talk about as well. But for now, let's just talk about moving across the board this way, from the high string to the low string. Right? So here's the idea. I start here. I've got G to E, D to B, reaching up to my A, then G, E, D, and B again. So you can look at it as 4, a ratio maybe, 4, 5. It's 9 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The thing I love about this, and I think Scott might have mentioned that this was kind of like a John McLaughlin idea, is that you're going to start with a downstroke. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then when I repeat it, that entire picking gets flipped over on itself. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then it goes back. So the great thing about that is to work on, for me, I've always found that, accenting a downstroke or punching that downstroke is pretty easy. But getting that same effect on an upstroke took some doing. So this is a great idea for that. And so that's the first move. And each of these little areas will be repeated twice to exploit that, starting with a downstroke, then repeating with an upstroke. And if you want, you can just isolate that. Get used to it. get that moving. Now what I'm going to do now is move to the next set of strings, which is going to be the B string and the G string, and I'm going to play D to B, A to G. My fingering, kind of using this 1-2 action here, and then I'm going to reach up to my E. Now I have E, D, B, A, G. Again, I'm just going to hang out there for a little bit, you know, so go to the pub, you know, you're hanging out with some friends, just get used to that feel. Then I'm going to move to the 3rd and 4th string, the G and D string. I've got A to G. Again, I'm keeping this 1-2 action. Use whatever works for you in terms of fingering. And then E to D, reach on up to my B on the 3rd string. B, A, G, E, D. Then I'm going to move to the 4th and 5th string. I've got E to D, B to A, reaching up to the G, back to E, D, E, A. Pushing a little more weight now with those lower strings, which is really good. And then finally I move to the A and E string. I've got B to A, G to E, reaching up here to my D, D, B, A, G, E. Right, and then that kind of is the idea, it completes the idea. Dominant 8. Works great over a dominant 7 sound. Obviously, it's going to work great over a minor sound. So again, remember, we've got down, up. So think of it as down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, followed by up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay. So there you have it. That's part 1. And tune in. I'm going to follow this up with part 2, which is a linear approach down the fretboard. All right. Guys. Cheers. Hope everyone's having a good one.